There's a pulse below the quiet, something living in the low. Not a noise, more like a riot, where small things beginning to grow. Pulse below, constant and slow. Everything I'll ever know. Pulse below, warm and deep, moving even while I sleep. Pulse below, mine to keep the rhythm underneath the steep. Mm-hmm. used to rush the quiet parts, skip to where the action was. Now I live inside the starts, inside the because. Slow hours, take your time. Nothing here needs to run. Slow hours, wide and warm, far from anything like storm. And now I can hold so much if you let it open up. If you stop demanding more from what was always just enough. How did I ever rush through this? Set me free. Warm static, low and wide, warm static. Step inside. Warm static, come for me, warm static. Set me free. Warm static, low and wide, warm static. Step inside. The slow unclench of evening comes when the last task of the day is done. When the jaw relaxes, when the drums of urgency have finally run. Slow unclench, feel the Slow unclench jaw and chest. Finally allowed to rest. Slow unclench shoulder drop. Everything is allowed to stop. I didn't know how tight I'd been until the evening let me go. The body releasing what had been held since morning's early show. So unclench, feel the release. Everything returning to its peace. Slow unclench jaw and chest. Finally allowed to rest. Slow unclench shoulder drop. Everything is allowed to stop. Unclenching. Finally unclenching. There it is. The warm ceiling of this room has held my thoughts for years now. In the quiet afternoon, in the evenings and the here and now. Warm ceiling, mind to know everything is watch me through below. Warm ceiling, soft above, the quiet witness of my love. Warm ceiling, always there, the most loyal thing in the air. I've stared at it through thick of night, through the mornings I've been dreading, through the good and the ordinary light of the life I've been threading. Warm ceiling, mind to know everything is watch me through below. Warm ceiling, soft above, the quiet witness of my love. Warm ceiling, always there, the most loyal thing in the air. A ceiling asks for nothing, just to be above you. And in its patient quiet, it becomes the closest thing to shelter. Still here beneath the warm ceiling, both of us holding still. I have unread pages everywhere, books I started never finished, intentions scattered through the air, ambition slightly diminished. Unread pages, that's okay. Not everything needs a final say. Unread pages, soft and still, waiting quietly, waiting until there's something kind about unread, about potential kept in holding, about the things not fully said, about a story still unfolding. Unread pages, that's okay. Not everything needs a final say. Unread pages, soft and still, waiting quietly, waiting until maybe I'll come back to them, maybe I won't. Either way, they're there, patient as the night. Still on page 43, and that's perfectly fine. I give myself slow permission now to rest without a reason given, to not explain the when or how, to simply be the one who's living. Permission granted, soft and wide, to simply be on the inside. Slow permission, this is mine. No one else gets to define. Slow permission, warm release, finally learning to be at peace. I spent so long asking if it's okay to take up space, to need to feel. Now the night just lets me stay and reminds me I am real. Permission granted, soft and wide, to simply be on the inside. Slow permission, this is mine. No one else gets to define. Slow permission, warm release, finally learning to be at peace. You don't need permission, but give it to yourself anyway. It helps. Beneath the noise there is a song that plays when everything goes quiet. It's been there all along. Beneath the daily riot, the undersong, always there. The undersong is soft and low, the one that only you will know. The undersong, yours alone, the deepest frequency of home. When the city finally exhales, it sounds like something close to bliss. It sounds like everything that prevails. The undersong, always there. Underneath the daily wear. The undersong is soft and low, the one that only you will know. The undersong, yours alone, the deepest frequency of home. Can you hear it? Underneath everything, it never stops playing. I feel the pressure dropping now, the way it does before the rain. My body knows before somehow, before the weather shows its name. Pressure drop, the air knows first, before the drought becomes a thirst. Pressure drop, something's coming, soft and low, the atmosphere humming. Pressure drop, let it break, let the rain do what it takes. The slow unwind takes all the evening and sometimes spills into the night. A gradual, unhurried leaving of the day and all its type. Slow unwind, this takes time. Can't be rushed into a rhyme. Slow unwind, soft release, everything returning to its peace. I stopped expecting fast unwinding, the immediate release of stress. The slow kind is more worth finding. It releases more and leaves less mess. Slow unwind, this takes time. Can't be rushed into a rhyme. Slow unwind, soft release, everything returning to its peace. Just let it unwind at its own pace. You can't rush the unwind, and you shouldn't try. Still unwinding, taking all the time it needs. That's the only way. I am the night. I am the night keeper of this household. The one who checks the locks and sees the dark. One who holds what morning hasn't told. The guardian of the almost fading spark. Night keeper, this is mine. The hours between the quiet and the sun. Night keeper, soft and wide, everything the darkness holds inside. Night keeper, this is real, the most honest thing I feel. In the hours when the city sleeps, and someone has to keep what keeps. Not a burden, not a lonely duty, just the natural roll of the awake to witness the nocturnal beauty for everyone who needs the rest today. Night keeper, this is mine. The hours between the quiet and the sun. Night keeper, someone has to keep working.